How often do you think about your heart health? Are you aware of the risks of cardiovascular disease? Well, let's dive into the heart of the matter. Cardiovascular diseases, encompassing coronary heart disease and stroke, claim the top spot as the leading cause of death in the United States. Particularly at risk are Blacks and Hispanics in underserved communities. It's a sobering reality, isn't it? But there's good news. Cardiovascular disease is largely preventable. Stay tuned to learn how you can keep your heart beating strong. Heart Smarts, a health program, is here to empower you to live a heart-healthy lifestyle. This program is not just about information, but about transformation. It offers a comprehensive approach to help you understand and achieve heart health. Heart Smarts is committed to reducing the incidence of cardiovascular disease, the leading cause of death in the United States. The program focuses on underserved communities where the risk of heart disease and stroke is greatest. Through education and empowerment, Heart Smarts aims to turn the tide on these statistics. It's a call to action, a call to change, a call to live healthier, longer lives. Heart Smarts is about arming you with the knowledge and tools you need to make heart-smart choices every day. It's about the power of prevention and the promise of a healthier future. Remember, Heart Smarts is not just a program, it's a life-changing journey. It's about taking control of your health, one heartbeat at a time. But don't just take our word for it. Listen to these stories from people who have benefited from Heart Smarts. Imagine being told you're at risk for heart disease, a leading cause of death in the United States. Now picture having the knowledge and tools to combat that risk head-on. For people like Maria, a single mother from an underserved community, Heart Smarts was a beacon of hope. The program informed decisions about her heart health, ultimately reducing her risk of cardiovascular diseases. And then there's John, a middle-aged man who was once a prisoner of his poor lifestyle choices. For him, Heart Smarts was not just a program, but a lifesaver. It opened his eyes to the risks he was taking and gave him the push he needed to commit to a healthier lifestyle. These are not just testimonials, they are life-changing stories. Stories of empowerment, resilience, and triumph over heart disease. These are real stories from real people who have seen the impact of Heart Smarts in their lives. Are you ready to be the next success story? Your heart health is in your hands, and with Heart Smarts, you have the power to make a difference. It's time to take that first step towards a healthier lifestyle, a step that could redefine your future. Heart Smarts is not just an ally, it's a beacon, guiding you to make informed decisions for your heart health. So why wait? The path to a healthier heart is just a click away. You'll find the link to Heart Smarts right down in the description below. Start your journey towards a healthier heart today with Heart Smarts.
Scene script. Have you ever wondered what makes Hohenheim from Fullmetal Alchemist such an intriguing character? There's something about Hohenheim that pulls you in, a sort of enigma that surrounds him. To peel back the layers of his mystery, let's start at the beginning. Hohenheim's story begins in a place of despair, born into a life of servitude. As a slave in the kingdom of Xerxes, he was merely a commodity, devoid of identity and dignity. But destiny had a peculiar plan for him. His encounter with the entity inside the flask, a homunculus named Dwarf in the Flask, was a pivotal moment that would irrevocably alter the trajectory of his existence. This homunculus, seeking its own freedom, manipulated Hohenheim, ultimately leading to the obliteration of Xerxes and the birth of two immortals, Hohenheim and Father, the primary antagonist of the series. This event, while cataclysmic, also imbued Hohenheim with knowledge and power beyond human comprehension. He was no longer a mere slave, but an immortal being with the lives of 500,000 souls residing within him. In an ironic twist, the man who was once a possession became the possessor of countless lives. But immortality is a double-edged sword. It gifted him with eternal life, yet burdened him with unending loneliness. His journey henceforth became one of constant struggle, a balancing act between his newfound power and the crushing guilt and sorrow that came with it. The entity in the flask, once his only friend, had manipulated him and caused the annihilation of an entire civilization. This betrayal left a deep scar on Hohenheim, shaping his character and his actions in the years to come. It made him wary, cautious, and instilled in him an insatiable thirst for redemption. He was an ordinary man thrusted into extraordinary circumstances, forced to grapple with existential questions about life, death, and the price of power. And so, with an immortal life thrust upon him, Hohenheim's journey of self-discovery and redemption begins. Imagine living for centuries, bearing witness to the rise and fall of civilizations. That is Hohenheim's reality. A life as an immortal can seem like a dream, an endless stretch of time to explore the world, to learn, to experience. But for Hohenheim, it has been a long, solitary journey, filled with a deep sense of loneliness that has become a part of his being. Born a slave in the ancient city of Xerxes, Hohenheim was granted immortality against his will. His life became an unending cycle of days, months, and years, as he watched the world around him change, while he remained the same. The people he knew, the ones he loved, they all aged and passed away while he was left behind. This gave Hohenheim a unique perspective, a view on life that is both fascinating and heartbreakingly tragic. He saw kingdoms rise and fall, cultures flourish and fade. He experienced the best and worst of humanity, from the highest peaks of compassion and love to the darkest valleys of hatred and violence. His long life allowed him to observe the patterns of human behavior, the cycles of peace and war, love and hate, life and death. This eternal observation has made Hohenheim a quiet and contemplative character. He carries a sadness within him, a melancholy that comes from living too long and seeing too much. Yet, despite his struggles with loneliness and despair, Hohenheim has never lost his faith in humanity. He has seen the potential for good in people, the ability to change, to grow, to love. It's this belief in the inherent goodness of humanity that gives Hohenheim the strength to keep moving forward, to keep searching for a purpose. Hohenheim's immortality is not a gift, but a curse. It's a burden he carries with him every day, a constant reminder of his isolation from the rest of humanity. But it's also what makes him so fascinating. His long life has given him a depth of understanding and wisdom that few characters in the world of Fullmetal Alchemist can match. Carrying the weight of centuries on his shoulders, Hohenheim continues to search for a purpose. His journey is not over. As the eternal wanderer, he continues to tread his path, seeking answers, seeking meaning in his unending existence. Despite his immortality, Hohenheim experiences one of life's greatest joys, fatherhood. Yet, this joy is often tainted by the complex relationship he shares with his sons, Edward and Alphonse. A relationship riddled with misunderstanding, guilt, and a deep-seated desire for redemption. Let's delve deeper into this. Hohenheim is not your conventional father figure. He is an immortal who has lived for centuries, witnessing the rise and fall of civilizations. This longevity has endowed him with wisdom, but it has also distanced him from the mortal world, including his own flesh and blood. Edward and Alphonse, his sons, bear the brunt of this distance. Hohenheim's enigmatic nature often leaves them feeling alienated, creating a chasm that seems almost insurmountable. This is further complicated by the fact that Hohenheim disappears from their lives at a young age, leaving them to grapple with their mother's death and their disastrous attempt at human transmutation. Hohenheim carries the weight of this guilt with him. He blames himself for their suffering, for not being there when they needed him the most. Yet, he struggles to express this guilt, to bridge the gap between him and his sons. His attempts at connection often come across as awkward or insincere, further straining their relationship. But beneath this struggle lies a deep-seated love for his children, a love that drives him to protect them from the dangers of alchemy, from the mistakes that he himself has made. He might be a man of few words, but his actions speak volumes about his intentions. Despite his past, despite his immortality, Hohenheim yearns to be a good father, to be there for his sons in ways he never was before. As a father, Hohenheim grapples with his past mistakes, striving to protect his sons from a similar fate. He is a reluctant father, one who is trying to navigate the complexities of parenthood while wrestling with his own demons. Yet, in his heart, he holds an unwavering love for his sons, a love that transcends time, space, and even his own immortality. In the end, every story must reach its climax, and for Hohenheim, it's a battle against his own creation. Hohenheim's journey culminates in a confrontation with Father, a creature of his own making, a being born from the darkest depths of his past mistakes. This battle is more than a clash of alchemical prowess. It's a struggle for redemption, an attempt to undo the wrongs of a lifetime. In this final act, Hohenheim is not the eternal wanderer or the enigmatic figure shrouded in mystery. He is a man, a father, willing to do whatever it takes to protect his sons and the world they live in. He fights not for himself, but for the future, for the possibility of a better tomorrow. As the battle rages on, the stakes become clearer. Hohenheim's fight is not just against father, but against the guilt, the regret, the self-loathing that has plagued him for centuries. It's a fight for his soul, a fight to prove that it's never too late to change, to make amends. And in this struggle, Hohenheim finds a sense of purpose, a sense of worth that has eluded him for so long. He finds a reason to fight, a reason to hope. He finds in the faces of his sons a reflection of the man he could have been, the man he still can be. In the end, it's not about winning or losing. It's about standing up, about taking responsibility. It's about facing the past, no matter how painful, and striving to make things right. And so, Hohenheim makes the ultimate sacrifice. He gives up his immortality, his life, to save the world. It's a moment of heartbreaking beauty, a moment of profound redemption. It's a moment that encapsulates everything Hohenheim has become, everything he has fought for. In sacrificing himself, Hohenheim finds the peace he has long been searching for. He finds closure, reconciliation, love. He finds, at last, a sense of home. He finds in the heart of battle, in the heart of sacrifice, the true meaning of redemption. So what can we glean from the life of this complex character? Hohenheim, a character that has fascinated us from the very beginning, is a paradox in himself. He's a man who has lived through centuries, yet he remains as human as you and me. He started his journey as a mere slave, a pawn in the hands of the powerful. But fate, as we know, has a way of playing its cards, and Hohenheim found himself bestowed with immortality. This immortality, however, was not a boon, but a curse that he carried, a burden that weighed him down. He was the eternal wanderer, destined to roam the earth while everyone he knew and loved withered away. Yet he bore this solitude with a stoic heart, understanding the price he had paid for his newfound power. But Hohenheim was not just an immortal, he was also a father who was often absent, a father who was reluctant to face his past and the mistakes he had made. His relationship with his sons, Edward and Alphonse, was complicated to say the least. He was a specter from their past, a reminder of the mother they had lost. But beneath the surface of this reluctant father figure, there was a deep-seated love, a longing to protect his sons from the world he knew was cruel. And finally, Hohenheim was a hero. Not a hero in the traditional sense, with a cape and a grandiose proclamation of justice, but a quiet hero who fought his battles silently, who sacrificed himself for the greater good. He was instrumental in the defeat of the homunculi, and in doing so, he found his redemption. In Hohenheim, we witness a character that embodies the human struggle for redemption and the power of love in overcoming our darkest fears. His journey is a testament to the fact that no matter how dark our past, there's always a chance for redemption, for change, for love. He is a symbol of hope, of the human capacity for resilience in the face of adversity. In Hohenheim, we witness a character that embodies the human struggle for redemption